Alright, so in this video, I'm going to go over the sidearms. So I've got the buy menu loaded up and here are all the weapons. What I am going to do is go over each pistol and show you the recoil and some of the strengths and weaknesses and pros and cons of each pistol. So starting at the top is the classic. So I'll go ahead and click it to confirm. And this is the pistol that you start with on offense and defense on pistol side. So every time you just spawn in the game, if you don't have another pistol, they'll provide you one of these for free. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and show you the recoil. And I'm going to shoot the pistol as fast as I can. Click mouse 1 so we can see the bullet spread. So as I'm clicking as fast as I can, this is going to be the max bullet spread. If I'm further away, the bullet spread is going to be even bigger. And as I get closer, the bullet spread is more compact. So you can keep that in mind. If you're fighting an enemy up close, you don't really have to worry about the recoil as much. So sometimes it might be better just to click as fast as you can. Where in long range fights, you definitely want to take some time and let that recoil settle down so that bullet is more accurate. Another feature of the classic is if you right click, go ahead and right click, it shoots a 3 bullet burst. So it shoots 3 bullets at a time and you can tell that the recoil is inaccurate. So same principle applies. If you're standing close to an enemy like this range, you can go ahead and right click and we'll know that all 3 bullets will hit that bot accurately. Again, if you're further away, if I right click here, the bullets are going to be bigger spread and I can't really trust that bullet accuracy there. Another thing about this right click burst fire is I can shoot it semi-accurately while I'm in the air. So for example, I'm just going to jump up off this bench. I'm just going to jump straight in the air and right click this bot in the head with right click. So as you can see, it is accurate, but the further away I am, of course, that bullet spread is going to be wider, so it won't be as effective. Moving on to the next pistol is the Shorty, and this is pretty much like a sawed-off mini shotgun. So you get 2 shots that shoot super quick. So especially with this particular pistol or any other shotgun, you want to try to be as close as possible you can. So let's go ahead and just shoot this mid-range and see the bullet spread. So you can see it's just massive. There's no way you're going to be able to do any significant damage at this range. But as we move closer, the bullet spread is compact and we can rely on that spread. So if we move to this bot right here, we know the lethal range is about this range and we can rely on the spread to hit pretty accurately. And as we move back a little bit, that one there was pretty good. The RNG was on our side. If we back up here, see the bullets are spreading beyond them. So you want to try to get close positions. Say we can sit right here. We can wait for an opponent to come by and then we can double click. And as you can see, the bullets shoot really quick. So you can just double click mouse 1 and get 2 shots off really quick. Moving on to the Frenzy. This is a neat pistol because it is a fully automatic pistol. It's the only one that can do that. There's no mouse 2 feature here, so it's all mouse 1. And let me go ahead and just hold down mouse 1 and show you the fully automatic clip shoot off. So as you can see, there is a recoil to this. So like some of the SMGs or rifles where it's fully automatic, you are going to have to adjust for this recoil kick up. So you can simply just single click. So I'm going to click mouse 1 and I can shoot 1 bullet at a time. And it's not going to be as accurate as some of the other pistols. With that in mind, you don't have to use fully automatic. We can sit back here and take 1 little bullets and shoot them pretty accurately. The strength here is that since it is fully automatic and it shoots super quick, we want to try to get close if possible. And then as we're shooting, of course, we want to drag the crosshair down a little bit to compensate for that recoil. Take a look at the 4th pistol, the Ghost. I try to engage in long range fights. It's super accurate long range, and at the expense of not shooting as fast as, let's say, the Frenzy. So let me just click as fast as I can and show you guys the recoil. So as you can see, the recoil is actually decently compact, a lot more than the Frenzy, and the first few bullets are a lot more accurate. So for these longer range fights, I can afford to take 2 or 3 shots before I have to start compensating for the recoil. Rounding off the sidearms is the Sheriff, and this is the big bad boy. This is one of the more satisfying weapons to take someone out with. You can see it's very similar to like a Desert Eagle 5.0. It's got a massive bullet that does massive damage, as well as wall penetration. So let's go ahead and just take some shots here into the wall. I'm going to shoot as fast as I can so we can see the recoil. So as you can see, there's a huge kick to it. You can see the animation. The first 2 bullets are semi-accurate, and then the rest of the bullets aren't really something that you can rely upon. And again, same principle applies. The further you are away from your opponent, the more recoil kick up there is and more spread. So if I sit back here, you can see that severe kick up even more. And this pistol is amazing because it does have that one-shot potential as long as they are within that bullet drop-off range. So if we take a look at the sheriff here, we'll hover over there, we can see the head damage. As long as I'm 130 meters within that 30-meter range, if I hit them in the head, it does a full 160 and it will take someone out, even if they have full shields. You have to wait a little bit longer between each bullet. So you can't sit here like the Ghost and take 2 shots really quick, like this, 1, 2, 1, 2. The timing is going to be a little bit longer per each bullet. So I'll shoot one inaccurately and then shoot one accurately. So you see that there's a lot more kick up. So a little bit more patience, a little bit more timing involved. And then also the last thing to mention with the sheriff is, as I'm hovered over the stats, you'll see the wall penetration is high. So it does the most damage between all the sidearms through the wall. The Ghost is a medium, and then we get low, low, low with everything else. So wall penetration, I can hit enemies through the wall or certain corners. So for example, right here, we'll go ahead and just shoot this bot through this wall. Like that. And I took him out and that other bot spawned. So another example right here. If I shoot the bot there, it takes him out. And then if I use the Ghost, it does have wall penetration, but not as much. So if we line up the bot and shoot him through the same brick right there, you'll see that spark. That was a headshot, but that didn't take him out. So try to utilize the sheriff's wall damage whenever you can. All right, in this video, we're gonna take a look at the SMGs and the shotguns. So as always, you can hover over each weapon and see the statistics to the right. But we're gonna go over the recoil and some of the strengths and benefits for each weapon. So starting with the Stinger, it's the least expensive and entry-level SMG. And if you'll notice on the right-hand side, you'll see that the fire rate is 18 rounds a second. And then if we go below that to the other SMG, the Spectre, it does a faster fire rate. Of this weapon is that the recoil is not very reliable at distance. So let's go ahead and shoot some bullets here. I'm going to just hold mouse 1 and we'll see the full recoil. So as you can see, the bullet spread way too large to rely on accurately. But what we can do for medium longer ranges is we can shoot little bursts. You take one little taps here, little mini bursts, 1 or 2 bullets, and the first 2 bullets for pretty much any weapon are going to be accurate as long as you're not moving because of the rate of fire, and also again the accuracy of the recoil is just ridiculous. So you can eliminate that recoil spread by being closer. So let me go ahead and just sit here and then I'll hold down mouse 1, and that's a reliable pattern that we can accurately shoot a bot at or an enemy. And the last thing I want to mention about the Stinger is that you can right click. So you can ADS here. And when you ADS with any of the weapons that allow you to ADS, your recoil is a little bit better, so it doesn't spread as much. However, it does decrease your rate of fire of shooting your ammo. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the Stinger's bigger brother, the Spectre. So we'll go ahead and purchase it. So it does a little bit more damage. It's a little bit more accurate. And it does have a silencer on it. So your position will be concealed a little bit more as it makes less noise. So let's go ahead and just shoot the full recoil and see what it looks like. So like most weapons, the first few bullets are pretty accurate. And then as it extends into the clip or magazine, the bullets kick up and then you have to do some adjustment. A little bit more accurate long range, so there won't be as much recoil control. You don't have to drag the crosshair down to compensate. And same thing, you get an ADS feature, but with this weapon, you can actually shoot fully automatic. Moving on to the entry-level shotgun, the Bucky, and I think this is one of the most underrated weapons because it has that one shot, one kill ability if you know how to use the mouse 1 and mouse 2 feature, which I'll explain a little bit, but also for 900 bucks. If you play the angles right and you can get in these close quarter engagements, use some of your abilities to get close to your opponents, then you can upgrade big time from a Bucky to a higher, more valuable weapon. So let's go ahead and click mouse 1 and show the basic fire. So with the shotgun, you're going to see a spread, of course. And as I get closer, that spread is more compact. And the further away I get, it's just a ridiculous spread. Farther range, you can use the mouse 2. And what it does is compacts those spreads for you. So if I'm back here, if I click mouse 2, so that's going to be a range I can't really rely upon. But if I get a little bit closer, hit mouse 2, even more closer, the spread is really compact. And that's something I can rely upon. So knowing this range of being able to use mouse 2 is going to be crucial. Actually, what it does is prevents me from using mouse 2 at all times. So if I'm too close to the bot and I use mouse 2, it does less damage. So it's about knowing when to use mouse 1 and mouse 2 depending on how far you are away from the bot. So if you're kind of in this kind of close middle range, 5-10 footsteps away, you can go ahead and use mouse 1. But anyone medium to far range like this, you can go ahead and use mouse 2. Another cool feature about the shotgun is that you can shoot it accurately or semi-accurately while you're in air. So let me just jump off this bench and mouse 1 this bot. As you can see, I can take out this bot. So some characters where you're like Jet, where you're up in the air and you can float, or maybe you're Omen and you just want to relocate off like a crate or something, you can utilize this accuracy while in midair. I'm going to shoot mouse 1 or click mouse 1 and shoot my bullets as fast as I can and see how fast these shells shoot. So mouse 1, I'm just spamming it, and this is the fastest I can shoot. So that's the timing you need to be aware of if you just want to get as many clips off or as many shotgun shells as possible. And rounding out the shotguns is the Judge, and this is going to be $600 more than the Bucky, so we'll go ahead and purchase it. And this particular shotgun doesn't have a mouse 2, so it's all mouse 1. And the strength of the Bucky is that you can shoot the shotgun shells a lot faster than the Bucky. So yeah, you can see it's probably 2 times faster, close to 3 times faster than the Bucky. So if I'm sitting close range here and opponent's close range, I can go and turn the corner and just hold down mouse 1, and I can do a lot of damage like that. Just like the Bucky, you want to try to find the range where you can rely on this spread. So something like this is pretty reliable. If I'm a little bit further away, well, actually that's pretty decent. If I'm further back here, then as you can see, the spread starts to get a little bit unreliable. So it's kind of knowing that range and trying to engage where you know that bullet spread is somewhere where your crosshair is going to be. And just like the Bucky, the shotgun is also semi-accurately while jumping. So we'll go ahead and test it out on this bot. About the rifles. So as we can see, there's 4 of them here. And as always, you can hover over and see the damage stats and the wall pen and all that kind of bullet drop off and information there. Let me go ahead and start with the Bulldog here, the entry level. So we'll go ahead and purchase it. So let's go ahead and just look at the recoil. I'm going to look at this wall and then hold mouse 1 and we'll see the bullet spread. So like with most weapons, the first few bullets are accurate or somewhat reliable, and then the recoil starts kicking up. Let's go here and see the bullets. Yeah. So you can see there's a distinct pattern to it. First few bullets are accurate, then it shoots pretty much straight forward up. The closer you are to the wall, the more compact the recoil, so there's less dragging down I have to do. So you see there's only that much. So if I wanted to control the recoil, I would just go down this much. And of course, the further I am away, the recoil is going to kick significantly higher. And then if I wanted to control that recoil, you see that distance there, I'd have to bring my crosshair down. A 2-shot headshot for this Bulldog. And when I click mouse 2, I'll enter ADS mode, and this forces me to shoot in burst fire, exactly like the Stinger. So if I just click mouse 1, what it does is shoots burst fire. See? And if I hold down mouse 1, it just shoots 1 burst and then it stops shooting. So keep that in mind when you are in ADS. Sometimes moving down one rifle is the Guardian. And this is an interesting weapon because it's the semi-automatic rifle of the group. So semi-automatic is I have to shoot each bullet manually. And let's go ahead and shoot as fast as I can and see the recoil and the rate of fire. So again, like all weapons, first few bullets are going to be pretty accurate, and then the recoil kicks in. And it does shoot pretty fast for a semi-automatic. It excels is in ADS mode. So this one does more damage than the other rifles because it's a semi-automatic, but I also have to rely on accuracy, right? I can't just hold down mouse 1 can rely on the spray to kill them. So this rewards those players that are really accurate with the first few bullets. And moving down one is the Phantom. So this is going to be a fully automatic silenced rifle. And then moving back, a higher recoil. Moving forward, more compact spray. Okay, manageable, but your rate of fire is less. Moving on to the Vandal, and this is the one-shot, one-kill rifle. And go ahead and purchase this, and this is going to be one-shot, one-kill to the head no matter any distance, as long as it's not through a wall. So if it's just a clean line of sight, you'll get a one-shot, one-kill. And this is also fully automatic. However, it's at the expense of higher recoil. So let's go ahead and just see what the recoil looks like. Here, and as you can see, it's about lined up here, and then the recoil finishes here. So I'm going to just purchase a Phantom. Let's do a side-by-side. So as you can see, the Phantom is less, right? So the recoil, there isn't as much dragging down I have to do. Let's go back to the Vandal. And then when I shoot, the recoil is a little bit higher and the spread is a little bit more. So you do get that one-shot, one-kill, but when you're trying to spray, you're going to have to control the recoil a little bit more. There's manual adjustment that's involved. That when you're crouched, your recoil is more stable and there's less kick. So anytime you do plan on spraying, if you can crouch, your recoil will be more accurate. Look at the two sniper weapons and then the two heavy rifles below that. So starting with the Marshal, we'll go ahead and purchase it. This is the entry level. So when we click mouse 2, it's going to work like any other sniper weapon, and it's going to give us. And this weapon will take 2 shots in order to take someone out with heavy armor. But in this case, they don't have any armor, and it does 100 damage. So let's take a look here at the damage stats. On the right hand side, you'll see under Marshal damage, it does body 101, and then a headshot, it will take anyone out if they have full health and heavy shield. So this is a great entry level sniper weapon that you can purchase. All right, now let's take a look at the rate of fire. So what I'm going to do is just click mouse 1 as fast as I can so we can see what it looks like. So that's how fast I can shoot. If there is someone super close, it might be better just to click mouse 1 as fast as I can instead of scoping and then waiting for it to scope. I'm going to just zoom and then click mouse 1 and we'll see how fast I can resume again. So there's the timing there. So if you want to shoot, switch targets, you can definitely do that as well. You just have to make sure that you give that zoom animation a little bit of time to finish. And if you shoot too fast, it's not going to be accurate. All right, now moving down to the Big Daddy Operator. This is the one-shot, one-kill weapon. We can look at the stats here on the right-hand side. Anything to the body will be a full kill, and then to the head, of course, as well. And also, if you leg shot them, it won't be lethal, but it will do 127 damage if they're in that 0 to 50 meter that's indicated there next to the statistics. So let's go ahead and take a look at the operator here. And if I click mouse 2, I can single zoom just like the Marshal. However, if I mouse 2 again, I can zoom even further. So for the longer distances, it's going to be especially helpful. Here's mouse 2, and then here's mouse 1. So it definitely provides a bigger hitbox during mouse 2. Stomach or the head, it will take them out if they have full heavy shields. In my case, these bots have no armor at all, so even if I shoot them in the leg, it's going to take them out. So what you want to try to do is always try to line up your red dot or your operator to try to at least hit someone above the chest. That way, no matter what, if they have armor or not, you know you can get a lethal shot off. Try to shoot through 2, and if we get a headshot, it should take them out. Let's see, we'll line this up here. So, no, it does not. So let's try this sandbox right here, this sandbag. We'll shoot him. So yeah, so here's the wall penetration right here. It's going to take out that bot. So down to the heavies is the Ares. And this is a very interesting weapon because for the price and for what it does, it's very unique amongst all the weapons. So let's go ahead and just purchase this Ares. And you can see there's a massive magazine there. So I have 50 bullets per magazine that's indicated down there on the bottom right hand side. And as you can see, this recoil is ridiculous. It's not something you can ever rely upon, especially when you're standing. Let's see what it looks like when we're crouching. So here's standing, and here's crouching. see, it's almost twice as more compact, at least in the initial amount. And the rate of fire is pretty fast too. So this weapon, you always want to try to be stationary and crouching if you can shoot. So let's go and just take some bots out. At this range, since it's medium to long range, we're definitely going to have to do some recoil control. So as I'm shooting, I'm dragging my crosshair down, and it's a very feasible weapon if you're strapped on cash. Say you want to purchase your abilities a little bit more, but you still want a weapon with a lot of bullets and still be able to do a multi-kill potential. Mention about the Ares is you'll notice that the wall penetration is high. So for $1,700, you get 50 bullets, you've got fully automatic and high wall penetration. So this can be a very viable weapon if you're strapped on cash, but you're still trying to do a lot of damage where you're not going to be engaging in super long range fights, and you can just get in close range engagements here and then control the recoil. And rounding off the heavies is the Odin. And what you'll notice is that its price tag is $3,200. So it's actually $300 more than the standard Phantom and Vandal rifle. And also something interesting about it is that the fire rate increases while you are shooting more bullets. So it starts slower and increases over time. And also you'll see the zoom mode. It says 1.25 slight spread reduction. So when we shoot with the ADS or zoom scope, then the recoil will be more manageable. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to click it. And you can see off the bat on the bottom, you'll see 100 ammo clips. So you don't have to reload as much, obviously. So yeah, the recoil is ridiculous, quite ridiculous. First few bullets are pretty accurate, so you can still control the recoil a little bit for the first few bursts. But anything more than that, it's just insane. Look at the mouse too. There is that added recoil reduction that we saw in the description box. So if we stack that on top of crouching, our recoil will be a lot more manageable. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and crouch and zoom and just shoot all the bullets by just holding mouse 1. So that's what it looks like. Let's do it on this side. Crouching, zoomed in, holding mouse 1. And then side-by-side comparison, just mouse 1 by itself. So that's a pretty good bullet spread. That's something that I can live with, especially when the rate of fire is much faster than the other rifles. And I believe it does more damage too. Let's take a look. So a head damage at 0 to 30 meters is 95. And then if we compare that with the Phantom, it is actually no. So the rate of fire is faster with the Odin, but it does significantly less damage. So you actually need to do 2 headshots in order to take a bot out. So that was 1 headshot, and then there's 2. So you do get the 100 bullets, and you have the increased rate of fire, but it's always going to be a 2-shot headshot to take someone out.